And we're back in a wonderful segment right here on the Lady Tracy Show. And we have with us a very special person, the man Leonardo Williams the third. He is a book author, and of course, he is also here from Delaware. Tell us about a new release, The Loner and the Goth. We want to hear for ourselves about this awesome work and, of course, the inspiration behind it. So we welcome you, Mr. Leonard Williams. Welcome to the Lady Tracy Show. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, Tracy, and thank you for having me. I'm excited to be on.
And it's a pleasure. Tell us who is Leonard Williams because I know you have a few fans out there that wants to know.
All right, so I am just an author. I love writing. I also want to make movies in the near future, so you can also call me a screenplay writer. And that's one of my biggest goals is to work in the movie industry, especially in the fantasy realm, because I definitely want to see more of us in the fantasy world when it comes to worlds like Star Wars and Avatar, and you name it, Harry Potter. I want to see a whole cast of us in that realm doing it big when it comes to box office, making $1 billion in the box office, and just shooting for the stars. I would love to see our imagery and fantasy. I love it.
Wow, I like your drive and your determination. Now I see why you have so many followers. Because the moment we put you on our page, you have been pouring our page with fans and comments and likes. I'm like, possibly I could get wealthy from you. But I mean, I love the drive. Now I see why. Can you tell us, Leonardo, what made you wrote this book? What was the inspiration behind this book when you released this film?
So I was always a huge fan of Stephen King and Jordan Peele, and I watched Jordan Peele's movie Us, and I also watched Get Out, and I thought it was brilliantly done. And I also watched Stephen King's movie It with Pennywise the clown, where he eats the kids and chases the kids around. And last but not least, I watched a film earlier this year called Fear Street. It was a three-part movie on Netflix, written by R.L. Stein. Once I saw those films, I knew that I wanted to work on horror because I never did a horror fantasy book before. So I said, let me go ahead and
Wow.
try to scare. Let me go ahead and try to scare people too, because I always do fantasy, but I didn't get into like the scary aspect of fantasy. And
Wow.
the loner and the goth is basically about a witch who doesn't really care about being a witch, but it's in her lineage. Her grandmother is a witch, her mom is a witch, but she just wants to live her life like an ordinary teenager. And it's kind of hard for her because she looks different. She has gray eyes, she has white hair, and she doesn't really get acquainted in school until a guy named Evan treats her like a human being. So eventually, in
Wow.
the story, they become boyfriend and girlfriend. But
Wow.
she eventually has to use her witch powers to help save him in the school, and it's a nice battle inside the story of witches versus aliens. So I think a lot of
Wow.
people are gonna love it. Yeah,
Okay. Okay, okay. Kind of like a Vampire Diary story or something with Bella and that handsome dude. I think it's gonna
absolutely.
do great. All right. And I can guess that the young population will love it because these are the things that they like to hear. Um, you know. So, Leonard, can you tell us where can we go to get this book if they want to get this book and what's the cost for it?
Yep, they can go to Amazon.com or Lenny'sImagination.com to find The Loner and the Goth. And the paperback is around $12.25, so $12.25. The hardback is $19.95. And the digital copy, which is on Kindle, is $2.99. And so they can go ahead and check it out. And it's written in movie script format.
Okay,
So it's
beautiful,
easy read.
beautiful. Beautiful. All right. Okay. Now I know that this has been a powerful release because I can tell. But do you have any future plans, Leonard, that you think you want to just squeeze us in a little bit about, just in case we want to see what's next? Do you have any future plans?
Oh yeah, so there's going to be a sequel to The Loner and the God called Miracles Winter Solstice. So that's pretty much going around the life of her mom and how her mom grew up, and it's going to be a lot of sequels coming after that. after The Loner and the Goth because I can see it becoming a fan favorite, and it's going to be one of my independent works that I continue to push. And you also can look forward to me pitching stories when it comes to other stories that I write to mainstream publishers out there and also mainstream movie companies because I'm really working hard to get our imagery out there because I care about the people and I know that we need it really because it's a lot of us that love fantasy. When I go to Comic Cons and stuff like that, I know we want to see more of us. So you're going to see me pushing out scripts and books and all types of stuff from here on out.
Cool. All right. Who do you want to shout out before you go? Because I'm sure that there's someone that you want to just say, hey, thank you for, being with me on the journey.
Who I could say the black-owned publishing company Melanin Origins. They're a children's book publishing company, but they helped me get started as far as learning how to understand the book business and how to continue to promote myself and how to write. Because at first I had no idea what I was doing when I graduated from college when it came to writing. I had no idea how to publish a book, but they pretty much got the ball rolling for me. And also a woman named Gina Humber. She is from New York City. She also taught me how to promote and grow my business. And when it comes to the movie aspect, I have to thank Mr. Deontay Stats and Miss Malika Chris for continuing to be my friend and show me how the movie business works. They stayed with me that whole time and never left my side as far as teaching me how everything goes.
Wow, big ups to you guys. And it's always good to have a mentor, Leonard. You really inspired us. Thank you so much for sharing. And we cannot wait to hear what's next. We cannot wait to see more of you and, of course, to see what's going to happen with this release. So thank you for being with us on the Lady Tracey Show. It was a pleasure having you, and we're looking forward to hear some of you in the coming future.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I am hearing you clearly.
Okay.
Thank you so much for being with us. It was a pleasure having you. And we're sticking out for what's next. Thanks for being with us.